All right, y'all. Welcome back to Firefly Aerospace's stream here. We are looking at Flight 5 of Firefly's Alpha rocket. The mission's called Noise of Summer, and we are currently T-minus 30 minutes away from a liftoff currently scheduled for 9:04 p.m. local time out there on the West Coast. Tonight, we are working with a 30-minute window. My name is John Galloway. I'm with NSF, and NSF is providing live stream services for Firefly this evening. But y'all know how this goes. I don't just think that I'm going to sit here and talk about the rockets. I get people who know a lot more about rockets than I do to join me. And so with me once again from Firefly, I've got Morgan Fiane. Morgan, how are you doing here? You're a composite structure engineer with Firefly. How's it going?
It is good. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. Yeah. All right. Folks, if you weren't here last time, Morgan, tell us a little bit about what you do at Firefly.
Yeah, so I am a primary structures responsible engineer. So what that means is that for the Alpha sitting on the pad and for our development medium-sized launch vehicle, I am responsible for the kind of main skeletal structure of the rocket. Rockets, plural.
Like the big rocket part, like the body of the rocket that everything gets bolted to, the engines, the propellant gets stored inside, like the main structures.
Yeah. The stuff that holds everything together and holds the propellants, all that good stuff. I've probably gone spelunking in every single tank that you see sitting out there at the pad.
Good deal. Folks, hey, right here at the top of the show, if you were watching previously, a couple days ago, we had a scrub. And so we're going to start off talking a little bit about that scrub, what went on, and what we've done to make sure that we're go for launch this evening. So Morgan, tell us a little bit about the previous scrub and what was going on.
Yeah, so y'all may have heard mission control say helium, and I know helium's kind of a hot topic, a little bit of a buzzword. It's not what caused the abort. We've got multiple sensors and gauges watching Alpha at all times, a lot of kind of like automatic health checks for the vehicle, and the system aborts if one of those sensors is reading out of range. Gotcha.
So this wasn't like a person sitting there with a red button or anything like that?
No.
This was the rocket watching its own health and saying, hey, whoa, what's up with this one sensor?
Yeah, exactly. So we had one sensor that was reading off nominally on one of the ground support. One of the ground support sensors was reading off nominally.
Right.
And that one sensor caused both aborts that we had on Monday night.
Okay.
So yeah, the team fixed the issue in the last day or so and did some additional testing, and we're ready to go today.
Good deal. I know a lot of people, like I read comments, I read chat, a lot of people were super surprised that Firefly was able to go for a recycle there. We had that 30-minute window, and people saw the scrub there at the beginning, and they were like, oh, it's over. And then the team went for a recycle. What is it that allowed that to happen? Like training, preparedness? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of different things. We could talk about the type of propellant we use, how we load the propellants on the vehicle, but mostly what it comes down to, in my opinion, is the size of Alpha.
Right.
And like you said, the preparedness of the team. So like, they have been trained for this. They're on the ball. And so that's just kind of part of the requirements of being a launch operator in space. Right. Is that, hey, we've got a 30-minute window. You have to make the most of every minute.
Absolutely. And we certainly did last time, even though we didn't get off the pad. But here we are this evening getting ready to go at it again. So we're currently, where are we at? Coming up on 25 minutes here. We're going to talk a little bit about where you might be able to see this. Remember, this is launching from Slick 2, SLC, Space Launch Complex 2, out at Vandenberg Space Force Base. Now you know the rocket, where the rocket is. Tell us where you're watching from, because you might be able to see this. With that 9:04 p.m. liftoff, what might people be able to see, Morgan?
Yeah, so just like our last attempt, we're launching at a time where you can see something called the twilight effect or the jellyfish effect. We kind of have the perfect conditions for it tonight. It's when the rocket exhaust plume is visible in the upper atmosphere and it's illuminated by that setting sun, so it's visible for longer periods.
Gotcha. So the sun has sort of gone down and it's getting dark on the ground, but the sun's still shining over the edge of the planet. You get something up high enough, like a rocket that's spewing exhaust, and the sun sort of lights that up and gives that show in the sky. Look at this. We've got, this is a previous launch, actually. This was Flight 3, Victus Nox, taken all the way from the Sonoran Desert over in Arizona by Sean Parker. This might be what you see, slightly different conditions, slightly different trajectory as well. But hey, what do you have to lose? Whenever we get the launch going here, you see it take off, head on outside. If you're on the West Coast, look out to the west and see if you see something in the sky, lit up rocket exhaust. If you get a photo of it, tag us on social media. It's Firefly_space if you're over on X, the Everything app. And we would love to see how y'all experience the launch this evening. Also, as we go through the evening here, we're going to be looking for some audience questions. So tag us at Firefly Space on the YouTube channel and put your questions in. No way we're going to be able to get to them all. But if we see a couple good ones in there, we'll try to work them into the show as we have time. Morgan, tell us a little bit about what Alpha is comprised of.
Yeah, so Alpha is a two-stage rocket. It can carry about 1,000 or more kilograms to LEO, which is low Earth orbit. It's a little under 100 feet tall, so 97 feet almost exactly, and it's 6 feet in diameter. So it's the largest vehicle in the small lift class. And how it can achieve that is, well, A, it's being driven by 4 of our Reaver engines and 1 of our Lightning engines. So those are all, designed and manufactured, tested, built, everything in-house.
In-house.
Exactly, yeah. And they're also all what's called a tap-off cycle engine. Very cool stuff. A more simple engine in terms of what that kind of how those turbopumps run, and that's just so they're more reliable, easier to manufacture, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's really interesting, but I want to hear about the structures.
Yes, I have. I've faked it till I make it, talking about propulsion for long enough. Yes.
Also peering through the fog here again, y'all, so it's getting tough to see the rocket, but carbon fiber composites.
Yes, that is my bread and butter. They're strong, lightweight, all that good stuff, so they can lift heavier payloads at a lower cost. And I've brought back, this time, my forbidden ice cream sandwich.
But we're now less than 15 minutes away from flight. I'm going to wait for the fuel overlay to come up again at some point. As we get under 15 minutes, or we are under 15 minutes here, let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen, because a lot of stuff's going to happen fast.
Yeah, so some of you might be able to see that little blurb that just popped up in the bottom right, but right now we are starting our stage 1 engine chill.
Right.
So we're pulling locks through our Reaver LOX pumps, and that's in order to kind of chill them down and make sure that just like last time, we're not surprising them with any comparatively like super cold fluid.
Temperature changes from like ambient to super cold.
Yeah, exactly. So we're making sure those are ready for operation. We're starting kind of T-type checkouts. T-type being our green igniter,
right?
Our igniter fluid that just is dying to be on fire.
It just wants to be on fire.
Very relatable. We're also looking for spin start verifications. We're looking for, the fan favorite is the TVC wiggles.
TVC wiggles?
Yeah.
I think chat saw some TVC wiggles last time that I didn't see. So folks, we're going to try to get that camera up here in just a second. If you see the TVC wiggles happen, let us know in the chat, because it's there's a lot of stuff for us to keep an eye on here. But help us out. If you see the TVC wiggles happening, let us know. Apparently chat went crazy last time.
Yeah, I didn't see any, but they saw some. Yeah. I missed it. But yeah, the TVC wiggles are really fun. They should be starting at T-minus 13 minutes, so coming up pretty soon here, you should start to see those Reavers kind of wiggle around.
Misión del día. Night of Summer. Detalles de la misión. Nombre de la misión, Ruido de verano. Tipo de misión, Demostración de servicios de lanzamiento de clase Venture. Cliente, NASA. Vehículo, Cohete Alpha FLTA005. Sitio de lanzamiento, Firefly SLC-2, base de la Fuerza Espacial Vandenberg, California. Fecha de lanzamiento, 3 de julio de 2024. Hora de lanzamiento, 21:04 PDT. Carga útil, 8 satélites cúbicos.
Use pole arms. T-minus 60 seconds.
Alpha FLTA005, una misión llamada Noise of Summer, respalda el contrato Venture Class Launch Services Demo 2 de Firefly con la NASA, que sirve para validar las capacidades de los vehículos de lanzamiento que respaldan una nueva clase de lanzamiento y brindan más acceso al espacio para satélites y naves espaciales pequeños. Firefly llevará a cabo Alpha FLTA005 como otra operación espacial reactiva, que incluye el transporte del carenado de carga útil a la plataforma de lanzamiento y su acoplamiento al cohete Alpha de Firefly en cuestión de horas después del despegue programado, en comparación con las semanas que lleva una operación típica.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're good.
Can I confirm?
I see no fires in the fluid.
Vehicle, supersonic.
They're on the MLS.
Axe Q.
Look at that.
Stage separation.
Stage 2 ignition. Chamber pressure looks nominal.
Cargas útiles. Firefly lanzará 8 CubeSats seleccionados a través de la iniciativa de lanzamiento de CubeSats, CSLI, de la NASA, que ofrece a los desarrolladores de satélites de instituciones educativas y organizaciones sin fines de lucro de los Estados Unidos acceso de bajo costo para realizar investigaciones científicas y demostraciones de tecnología en el espacio. El despliegue de CubeSats de CSLI en un vuelo determinado se conoce como lanzamiento educativo de nanosatélites o LANE. La misión Alpha FLTA005 Noise of Summer llevará cargas útiles y LANE 43 de la NASA.